Hello again, Timeless Gamer Crew. We're on to my second favourite series of games, and it is another Sega franchise, the Streets of Rage franchise. Now, the Streets of Rage franchise, there's not that many games in it, okay? You've got the four mainline ones that we'll concentrate on. That's really where it's at. You have got your Master System, Game Gear, and such spin-offs. You've also got your remake. So, looking at it as an entire series, what I love about it is pretty much every game's a banger. If you look at it, relatively speaking, you like I say, your Master System, Game Gear versions, all great for what they are. But you concentrate on the four mainline hits and your Streets of Rage remake spin-off, and every game is pretty much the best that genre has to offer when it was released. You know what I mean? This is the king of beat 'em ups. I don't care what anyone says. Final Fight, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, yeah, some great stuff in there. Apart from your god awful SNES port of Final Fight, but generally speaking, they all play second fiddle to Streets of Rage. They just haven't got the mechanics or the depth of the game. You know what I mean? When every Streets of Rage game was released, it was the king. You know what I mean? People will say the SNES version of Final Fight was better. No, it wasn't. You were playing with one player. If you've got no mates and you're sad and lonely, yeah, it's better. But if you've actually got friends and you're a decent functioning, member of human society, Streets of Rage were your jam. Okay, not to mention that we'll get to the music later, but it were the jam. It was literally the jam. So yeah, Streets of Rage. How I stumbled across it. I was a Mega Drive player. I'd actually got Super Nintendo at the time when it came out, and it were Streets of Rage. Just it was the Mac Daddy. I was disappointed with Final Fight. I got Final Fight with my Super Famicom that I imported, and it was one of the reasons I got a Super Famicom. And it really didn't hit with me when I sat down there. Right, I'd already been through with a friend of mine the Nintendo Entertainment System Double Dragon one-player fiasco. So when I then got bit by that, by getting Final Fight and not being able to have my mates play on it with me, I was like, what are you doing to me? Streets of Rage gave me that. I was like, thank God you come along, you know what I mean? I say I've played every single game in this series, and it's just beat 'em up perfection. It's just beautiful, okay? The moveset evolves perfectly throughout the games. What I love about the entire series is the evolution between games is perfect. It is incredible because each game gives you something different, but stays with that familiar formula. And that is what every bit of entertainment media, from books to films, to games to music, should be about. We all want that familiarity. We all want to pick up something we feel like we already know, but we also want that freshness. And that's what Streets of Rage does amazingly. And it plays fantastically too. Every single game plays. Your first game is fast and pacey and you can jitter about left and right. Your second game is hard and punchy. It's the people's favourite. It's the most polished, that's for sure, in terms of when it came out anyway. And it was the most impressive, you know what I mean? It really blew us away. But it's not my favourite. It's not as pacey for me. Out of the old school ones, Streets of Rage 3 or Bare Knuckle 3 is actually my favourite. The moveset and the challenge design and the environmental design and that is just lush. It is so good, and it's harder as well. The first two games, your first game's got a decent challenge. Second game's easy. You know what I mean? It's a cakewalk. The order settings out, but your third game gets that challenge a lot better balanced and is a lot more fun for it. And then your fourth game, boom! Your fourth game's your best beat 'em up for all time. And every single one of these, when they came out, they were the best beat 'em up all time when they came out. A lot of people didn't appreciate 3 because of the flavor change, and a few, the music garbage in 3. So I can understand that. But as a game to actually play, it was still better than anything else that had been out. The only other beat 'em up that's ever come close to any of these for me is actually Aliens vs Predator, the arcade machine. But but every single one of these just hit the spot, and Streets Rage 4 was the ultimate tribute and evolution of the game. All these games evolved beautifully, and we've not even mentioned the music. I mean, the music, God Almighty, this was 90s rave embodied in game form. You know, like I've mentioned before on the show, we would play these games in the day, then we'd go out on the piss with friends at night, and we'd be dancing and getting drunk to the tunes that Yuzo Koshiro based the Streets of Rage tunes off, and it was fantastic. It was, you know, and then you wake up with an hangover the next morning, play Streets of Rage again, and get a buzz on, remembering what had gone off the night before, because you were still getting them tunes, like or the inspirations from the tunes come down to you. So it was mega. I mean, story and plot progression. You know, you're a bunch of people. You're going to smack people. That's all you need to know. You know, Blazer's got titties and panties. If that's your thing, you know, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So again, yeah, it's a wonderful series, a really wonderful series that is the king of its genre. I don't think there's many other genres where you will have such an undisputed king of it. You know what I mean? Like we've just mentioned, like look at Final Fight. Final Fight, you know, it's got some good games, but Final Fight 2 is garbage. Final Fight SNES port is garbage. There's a lot of games. Even Zelda, you know, Zelda's got some amazing games, some fantastic games like Link to the Past in, but it's got some crap in and all. You know what I mean? You know, people talk about series like Final Fantasies. And only half of them are any good in your mainline series. You know, it's very hit and miss. You don't get a lot with Streets of Rage. With Streets of Rage, if you buy a Streets of Rage game, you know you're getting absolute top quality, timeless gaming.